All right, thank you for joining up, Mr. Abhinav. Yeah, and
Thank
you're
you.
the
Pleasure is all
C
mine.
yeah, you're the CEO of Techugo, I believe, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. Could you give us some insight about yourself first?
Uh, so, uh, so I am. My name is Abhinav, and I am into mobility industry since almost 11 years now. We started another company in 2011. It got acquired, then moved on to do another, different things in life, and then finally stumbled upon Techugo, and we are running it since 2015 now, and it's been almost 6 years, and so yeah, we are close to 200 people firm with 5 offices overseas and with over 200 clients that we have worked with. And we have done some amazingly good products that we are really, really proud of. I mean, and when I this is one story that I tell a lot of people, that there was a company in UP which wanted to be the largest company in terms of it is a dairy company, and they wanted to beat Amul, in fact, and this is the discussion which we had in 2016. They were not doing anything digitally. So what we did, we handheld them, and we did a digital revolution in their company. Today, that company has beaten Amul in UP, is worth over 1,000 crore, and that is a shining star on our the way we look at it. As so, that is one of the proudest thing that I tell people, and is one of the proudest thing that we have done.
That's
So yeah,
pretty
that's
awesome.
us.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. So the first question I have for you is, could you tell us about some latest projects that you're working on at Techugo?
Sure. So Gyan, is the company I was talking about, the dairy. So they are still with us since last 6 years. There is another company called Can. So I'm only telling you the innovative stuff that we are doing. So we
Sure.
do more than 50 projects at any given point of time. So I'm only telling you the innovative ones that we are doing. Gyan being the first one. Second being, there's this company called Can. You know, uh, what they do is they sell kandura. Kandura is the national dress of UAE, of Gulf region. If you have seen the
Correct.
white dress that people wear, right? So that is called kandura. So what this application does is, you can order kandura, but since people are in different shape and sizes, you can never get which one to order, right? The problem that we face in India. So what this application does is, you just stand in front of your mobile, and it takes your dimensions, your chest, your waist. It takes everything to the absolute, degree of, with no errors at all. So that is what this application does. It tracks it, and it measures the body, and then it orders kandura for you automatically, right? So
Wow.
this is one of the very innovative product that we did. Then we are working with a couple of record holders of Guinness Book. It's called a Lifeology. They are Bangalore-based team coaches. So then we have a South African client called Gavin, uh, and we have created a product for him called Sturkla, where we have over 5,000 coaches who train people. They're life coaches. There are personality development coaches. There are different kind of coaches on this platform, and they use this application to teach, right? So that is what this application does. And then we have from Greece, we have one of their top DJs. Her name is Zinia Ghali. We did an application for her. Then today, in fact, just a couple of minutes back, I got information that one of our application called Follow the Notes was aired on the national TV, one of the biggest national TV in Italy. It's called Follow the Notes, right, where you can learn how to play guitar and all.
Right.
Right. So that is the kind of work that we do, and everything is research oriented, and everything involved is highly complex, and that is what we kind of revolve our company around. That we won't do simple stuff, let it be for others. We do highly complicated and complex stuff that we are good at.
Right. Right. I understand. I see that the Can project is like really precise when it comes to the picture,
Yes.
because they're taking the
Mhm.
entire body dimension. So how did you manage to come up with that idea?
So it's so in order to just get one dimension, we kind of take roughly 700 to we kind of so the way that algorithm and the way that technology uses is that we have made a model which studies over 1,000 images and then calculates the data based on the data that it is seeing on the camera, right? So it is a complicated technology. It took us almost 2 years to develop, and then
Right.
finally we are here where we are.
That's pretty awesome. So,
Thank
could
you.
you give your opinions on how far the app revolution, like the AR app revolution, has made a difference in the technology world?
So, mobile app revolution. I mean, if this question is still in your, is in your question list, then it has not made enough dent that it should, right? So, I mean, you look around. You won't find a single thing, a single, anything in the world wherein a mobile application has not intruded. Where mobile application has not made life easier, whether it is booking of cab, whether it is ordering food, whether it is getting a haircut, whether it is getting the figure of your body, whether it is
Right.
anything in the world, whether it is even ordering milk in the morning at 4 a.m. So mobile application is everywhere. And look at the stock market today. Companies which are conventional companies like Reliance, Bajaj, Mahindra, they are like decade old company, and see their market capital and see the market capital of Nika, or see the market capital of Paytm, which is the latest buzz. You would understand that a company in technology domain, what they can do in 10 years, others probably would do in 50, right? So that is the kind of revolution which mobile application, or I would say technology, is making in this industry.
Right. But when it comes to apps that are specific to AR, what do you think about that? Like
Mhm.
how have we
Augment
adapted to the technology?
So augmented reality is still far-fetched. I mean, in India, especially, it is going to take a little time for augmented reality application to come in the in day-to-day life. There are a lot of good applications, but not very good real life applications of those applications, right? So AI, I would say next 2 years, now that Facebook is betting huge on AR and all, so probably next 2 years it would be in the next level.
Could be. I think that could be true. So
Right.
what
So in
like
India,
yeah,
India kind of today depends. So internet penetration is not anymore, is not limited to just tier one or tier two cities. Uh, so we have internet penetration probably, at 90% of the population has internet today. So AR requires good internet with the onset of 5G, probably by next year or next year end we would see that AR application would come in the mainstream, right? So I bet on AR a lot, but it still has 1.5 2 years to come through.
right. So the next question that I have for you is what latest technologies and tools you're planning to implement for mobile app development?
So see, the tools are the same. The technologies that we are. The tools are pretty much the same that we have been using since a couple of years. It gets revamped, it gets better, but the tools are pretty much same. The technology is changing. We are very much into AR, VR, AI. IoT is pretty huge, and we have kind of invested in a couple of companies, which are IoT based. So we, as a services company, we have a lot of clients. We have a lot of projects that we are doing in IoT. We have a lot of augmented reality projects. We have virtual reality projects. We have then there is a company called there's a project that we are doing. What it does is uh, it is for miners. It is for a company in South Africa which own mines there.
Right.
What we have done there is it is an amazing example of virtual reality. So there we have given them a camera. We have given them a glasses to all the miners who go down in the mines. It has a camera here at the side on the frame. Everything that they do, they record it. They record it. the miner sees in the mine below, the supervisor can see up here, and he can guide him that which rock or which wire to cut or what to do through the glasses that he is seeing. That we did. So yeah, we kind of revolve around AR, VI, and IoT products. So that is our forte actually.
Awesome. So, what's your approach to creating interactive and addictive UX or UI of mobile apps and websites?
So UI UX is a very subjective topic. When it comes to UI and UX, any good application you see, and if it is not usable, I mean, no matter how much money you pump in, how much cash you burn, it is not going anywhere, right? So UX becomes the integral part of any application that you are doing. What we do here is that we study his user base. We create user personas. We try and understand what kind of age, what is the age range that he's targeting. So, for example, we have redesigned this Gyan Dairy product that we did. We realized that earlier when we were using this, when we made this application, we realized that people who would be using it would be in the age bracket of 25 to 35. Today, after 4 years, we realize that most of the people who are using this application are of range 30 to 45. These are the median range which is using this application. So we redesigned the entire application so that it suits the need of that particular age group. Right. So we made the buttons a little bigger. We removed all the unnecessary clogging that we did in the application to impress the young minds. Now we have made everything very subtle so that a lady who is probably someone who is using the application comes onto it, he wants to order milk, he can do it in second two presses, right, in 2 clicks. So we changed the entire application, changed the entire UI and UX of the application to fit that customer need. And this is an exercise that we do very regularly with all the new clients and all the existing clients. We study their market, we study what kind of age are they targeting, and then we revamp the entire design. We kind of come up with a design that best suits the customer that they are targeting.
Right. That's pretty awesome. It's good to see that your company has your resources planned and everything strategized. It's really good to
Mhm.
see that. So, do you also run
Thank
any
you.
kind of upskilling programs for your employees, like your current employees or trainees?
Right. So, I mean, that is one thing which has become really very important in these COVID times. Now that people are working from the comfort of their homes, attrition rate. What has happened to attrition rate in India these days. So, there are only two things which people are looking at. One is growth. One is money. Money is something which everyone is, has a limited money. You cannot just offer money in order to let not let someone go, right? So and that can only be done by all these Paytms and all these people who have a lot of cash to burn. They can do anything they want, but there will come an expiry to that. But with services company, we have very limited funds that we can assign to salaries, and we cannot just double things up. The only thing which can balance the money part is the growth, right?
Right.
So what we do very regularly is we kind of do very rigorous training exercises. We cross train people from one technology into another technology so that they become a full stack developer. Why have someone only learn, only do one kind of stuff? If he wants to do something else along with that, he is most welcome, and we kind of provide all the infrastructural help and training exercises in order to make him reach there, right? So training and research is one thing which is a regular thing in a company, and without that, I believe none of the research oriented companies can prosper. So we, being a research oriented company where we do very unique projects, that has become a necessity for us instead of just gimmick to hold people.
Right. So, what are the challenges you see in the outsourcing industry, and how much you are prepared to face those challenges?
So that's pretty interesting question, and this question has not changed since 2010. Why? Because India has not changed, right? India is still seen as a country where people would get cheap labor. India is still seen as a country where people do not have ethics, but they would say 5 minutes, they would come in 50. So India is still seen as a country where you can get people to, if you want to get 8 hours of productivity, they will have to work for 12 hours. This is the common mindset that a person outside India has for Indian people, and they would know that this person would spend 12 hours to do 8 hours of work. Indians think that they are hardworking, but actually that is not. And that is where the biggest problem in in outsourcing industry. People in India do not resort to quality, they resort to the quantity. They think that okay, kisi tarah se somehow this thing should just go off. Sometimes the way they are after completion rather than creating something unique, something which is worth using. I mean, of 100 companies, if there are 100 mobile app development companies, I would say just there are probably just 10 who are focusing on quality, 90 are only focusing on how to get more sales, right? And since India being you get I won't say cheap, but I would say you get very cost effective developers in India, almost one tenth the rate you would get in US or UK or European countries. People don't prefer just taking chance on companies, right? So people feel like okay, what they're asking, what, 10,000 US dollars, a person here is asking 100,000 US dollars in US, probably we should just try them out. That is the common mindset that people in US or anywhere outside India have. We will have to change that if India has to become a 5 trillion economy by 2025, right? That is really very important, that people resort to quality, not just to sales, right? And that is one thing that we kind of knew very early on, that we only have to focus quality. And that is the reason that on 200 people team of Techugo, we only have 3 people in sales, of which one only does the contract work. So effectively, we only have 2 people in sales. And I very proudly say that we don't have sales team, because the partners that we work with, the clients that we work with, I mean, most of them, for example, Sturkla client, Gyan Dairy, Dhanuka, all these clients, these are big clients. They have referred us nothing less than at least 50 clients each, right? So that is where we generate business from. Our quality speaks. Someone who has used our application, someone who has worked with us, never leaves us. Our termination rate is almost close to zero, right? So that is where we kind of create a difference, that we don't run after sales, we run after quality, and sales automatically happens, right? So Indian outsourcing industry will have to revolve around innovation, and quality and research. And these 3 things are really very important if India wants to improve its image, in outsourcing industries, countries which where people outsource the work to.
Right. I second that. I mean, it's all about quality driven society that we have to create, instead of just putting everything piling
Right.
up on the quantity part. I completely agree to that. So how what is your opinion about multi-skilling? Like, is it
Exactly.
necessary in the world of AR and VR that somebody must have 2 to 3 skills, or is one skill enough?
I didn't understand the question. Come again, please.
Yeah, sure. So I just wanted to know your opinion on multi-skilling. Like, in the world of AR or VR, is it important to have multiple skills, or one skill is more than enough?
So if someone, so talking from the perspective of a developer, if someone is, is capable of making an augmented reality or virtual reality applications live, all the other technologies that we use, technologies he has already happens. I mean, no one is from augmented reality or virtual reality. He would have to make a basic application first, probably in Swift or in Kotlin or whatever language he is writing in, augmented virtual reality application. Right, so it is a step-by-step thing. It is not like you start learning from augmented reality and virtual reality application. Right, so it is a step-by-step procedural thing. If you are capable of doing that, you already know a lot of things that were needed in order to reach there. Nupur, your voice is not audible. I think there is a lag.
Is it audible now?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. So I'm just
Yes, it
asking,
is.
right. So let's say that we're in a fully fledged AR VR world. What would be the first thing that you would like to
Mhm.
try? What would be the first thing that you have always fantasized that if the world was completely filled with AR and VR technologies, this is how my life should be?
So, so the way ahead is, people will have to understand that work from home is here to stay. The way we used to work before 2019, it is not going to be the same ever. Right, travel will change, working from office would change, shopping would change, everything has already changed, but it will change to a bigger extent, right? What I would want to see when in terms of AR and VR is that in terms of virtual reality, what I would want to do, what I would want to see is, I would want to have a meeting where I can see the person right in front of me, not talking like on the laptop here. Something somewhere, and probably this Facebook glasses kind of does that. That you wear the camera, you wear the glasses, and you can see the person right in front of you. So that is something which I really fantasize on. That without being in the room, you can see people sitting in the room. And that is what I would love to see when it happens full-fledgedly. It is happening, but it still has long way to go. That is one. And second being, again, this is again something which is already there, that when you raise your camera, you automatically see which direction you have a Starbucks, which direction you have Chanel, which direction you have Gucci and all. So shopping becomes easier. You go in the mall, you just raise your camera and it tells you Gucci is this way, Chanel is this way. So that is the kind of thing that is already there. It's not refined yet, but I would love to see the refined version of it, the way we use Paytm, the way we use Zomato or Swiggy, exactly like that. I would want to use this kind of application. So that is the day that I fantasize.
That's pretty nice. Like a hologram, right? Like a hologram sitting right in
Exactly,
front of you.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right,
I used to
right.
watch Justice League and it always used to happen there.
Yeah, that they did it in what, 15 years back.
Yeah.
So 15 years ahead of it, we need to do something more which is
Yeah.
realistic. That was a lot of
Fantasy.
virtual thing in there. We have to do right. So yeah, that time will come. Facebook Meta is kind of on the right track to do it,
Right.
and probably they would create a revolution in that very soon.
So I have just one last question for you here. Is there any kind of advice that you would like to give to the budding aspirants who are looking forward to make a career in AR and VR industry?
So AR and VR industry is poised for growth. I mean, it is one area where if you are planning a company, or where you are planning to go in AR and VR technology, uh, growth is unsurmountable. I mean, growth would be unparalleled. However, as I told earlier, this is a step by step. It is a top of a ladder kind of a thing, and you reach there by taking one step at a time. perseverance is what is needed in this industry. And if you kind of start it, don't just end it because the going gets tough, right? So perseverance is very important, and that is something which Indians lack a lot. So perseverance, and then a lot of research is required in this area. So if you are getting into it, be research oriented, rather than you won't get solution out in the internet on in the open. So you will have to be research oriented. So these are the two things which are really very important, that you have to be open to research. You should know how to do research. Take help from people who are already doing it. Taking help doesn't demean you. It doesn't say that you are weak. Taking help means that you know what your shortcomings are and you can grow, you can outperform those. So take help and persevere. You've got to stick to it. The future is of AR and VR, so you will have to stick to it until you get it right, or reach where you want to reach, right? So these are the two advices that I want to give to any budding entrepreneur or any budding learner or anyone who wants to learn AR and VR.
That's a wonderful advice. Thank you for that. So it was great interacting with you, Mr. Abhinav Singh,
Same here, Nupur.
and I hope that we would be able to do this again in form of a webinar or
Certainly,
seminars or something like that. And
I would love to. Sure.
this was for Media Talkback, transforming tomorrow with new age skills, AR and VR. Thank you so much once again. We'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.